Now then, we often hear these days about the power of positive thinking. Usually this focuses on what it can do for the individual. But now a Russian scientist says it could also benefit the world around us. RT's Sarah Firth looks at the science behind the claims.
Can you directly influence the world around you with just the power of your mind? Although it might sound far-fetched, a leading Russian scientist believes we can do exactly that. And using a device that photographs human energy fields, he's attempting to prove it.
We are developing idea that our consciousness is an active part of our material world. And with our consciousness we can directly influence our world.
To bridge our understanding of the unseen world of energy, scientific experiments are carried out using a technique called bioelectrophotography. The assumption is that we're constantly emitting energy. Now, bioelectrophotography works to capture this energy field that's seen as a light around the body, or what some people would call your aura.
Okay, how to see auras. Right? Everyone always tells me this over on Periscope or on Instant Messenger, Ryan, what's my aura feel like? Well, how about I tell you guys how to see your own auras by yourself, on your own, in the mirror, or at a friend, or with your dog, or even with inanimate objects. You see, an aura is the electromagnetic field that resonates around anything. But it's not just the electromagnetic field, not just these different wavelengths of your being, but it is also your etheric body manifest and your emotional body. And it also shows the health and the condition of your physical body. It is a tinge of color that resonates at a certain frequency that can also show or depict texture or feeling. Synesthesia is the ability to see and feel color. That is because the person who's able to see and feel color is able to pick up on the vibration of a person's aura, and then by doing so is able to feel information from a distance. This is when someone is looking at you from a distance and you can feel them, so you look over your shoulder and you're seeing that creep, as some people would call them, staring at you, right? It's because you're feeling information from a distance. So synesthesia is the ability to not only perceive or feel information from a distance, such as taste and color, but if you take it one step further, there's also an ability where you can take information from said aura that are images or memories from whatever it is that that person's thinking at that present point of time. And that's when you breach that realm of telepathy, which is receiving information from a distance or giving out information from a distance. Okay, now this is why it's so cool to see someone else's aura. Now you can also see somebody else's chi or ki body or energy, life force flowing through their veins, but that'll be a different video. Okay, that is a whole different type of energy that you're going to be seeing, and there are certain days, certain times of the week which make it easier, or month, which make it easier for you to see said energy, such as the chi flow, the life force flowing through your body, which you can also see through objects that fall from trees, such as apples or pears or bananas, fruit, things that contain life, even animals, okay? But within this one, we're going to be focusing on the aura. Everyone wants to see auras because everyone loves to see color. Everyone's attracted to people in the room that are wearing the most brightest clothing, the shoes, the hats, anything. Even sometimes the Ray-Bans, the shades. Cars. Color is beautiful. Whenever you put out a plate of food, whether that be fruit or something like a decorative cake, the color is what attracts the kids, and it's the same for auras. This, I guess, is why everyone's so attracted to wanting to see auras in the first place. Which is good that you guys clicked on this video, because I'm going to tell you how I do it. A long time ago, I tried telekinesis. I tried to move things with my mind, and it didn't work straight away because I noticed another ability that kept coming forth. And that was, every time I was looking at this pen, I would see it slightly curve, bend, as if the waveform that created the matter of the object was changing. And that is when it showed itself to me. A really thick green layered underneath the aura, black, tinge, light, this neon glow around the object. And then when I started to do the same thing, trying to move marbles, like big glass balls, and other round objects such as ping pong balls, I noticed that the auras would change from pink to blue. Now, whenever I was doing this, it was against a background that was just of one color, and I did move that ball to another background just in case the background was influencing the color. And it wasn't. The aura always stayed the same with these inanimate objects. So that is one thing you guys can do. Okay, you can get a plain background. Start off with a ball. I find a ball easiest. Most people use people, but I find that a clean edge is the easiest to see, a clean ray of light when it comes to the auric field of the object that you are seeing. Now, this auric field with 3D objects do represent the etheric aspect of these objects. The etheric means the thought form. It's the thought energy which is comprised and compressed and collapsed into a different wavelength, i.e. a physical object. It creates the matter of the physical object in and of itself. This is why when you go to the astral realms or the etheric realms, you'll see replicas of things within these etheric realms. Okay, so generally the auras around physical objects will look similar. So how do you see it on people? Well, just like with seeing chi, or ki, or life force energy, it does help when you're in a brightly lit room, when you're seeing this side of you, your etheric body or even your emotional body manifest around you in these rays of colors, which could, by the way, shift. Again, your aura depicts your emotional state, your feelings, your thoughts. Therefore, your aura will never stay exactly the same throughout your entire life. It will shift, sometimes numerous times throughout your entire day. And a lot of people will see you and they'll feel you first, guys. If you can feel somebody, their anger, their emotion, guess what? You're subconsciously reaching into their auric field. You can feel it, but you're feeling it in a different way. You're using a different sense, extra sensory sense outside of yourself in order to feel thought from a distance without actually seeing it. You can also map out your entire house as to how many people are actually in the house. And I like to do this in convenience stores if I'm looking for somebody to ask a question to. I would feel the space first and I could actually pick up on their aura without actually seeing it first. You can try that also if you're in a convenience store or a large place, or even if you're inside of your room, just sit there for a second and try to feel how many people are actually in the room. I can feel the two animals, the dogs over there underneath my floor in the kitchen. I can feel my brother just there walking throughout the corners of the house, throughout the corridor of the house. I can also feel my sister, she's half asleep in her bedroom, and my mum's stain, which is the auric stain, the stain that you leave within the room before you leave if you've been heavily investing your time into feeling a certain way, an emotional state, or even if you're just contemplating or thinking. This is why I like to move to where people work, because their aura around them allows me to tap into a state of mind, a state of being, which allows me to think better, clearer, faster, so that I can get the work done at a faster rate of time. So when it comes to seeing auras with a friend, you can invite someone over if you like. And you've all probably heard this already. This is something most people do online. They put a dot in the middle of their friend's head. Okay, kind of like a bindi dot, but choose black, it's the best. Don't use a Sharpie, you're gonna want them to wash it off at the end of the day. But you use your fingers like this, and you step back and you watch the dot in the middle of their forehead, okay? And as you're watching the dot in the middle of their forehead, you slowly move your fingers, and then you'll find, like what's happening right now when I'm looking at the camera will go blurry, and you'll start to see around the camera. Now this is known as the peripheral vision. The vision outside of the area that you normally look at when it comes to you looking at people, whether that be their eyes or the center of their head. The fact that you're able to see around the edge, eventually you won't be able to see your hands at all. And that is the distance of your peripheral vision. That is the furthest region that you're able to see at the corner of your eye. And this, the further away you're actually looking, the more you're able to peer into the other aspects of space, time, different dimensional layers. And this is why most people see entities and so forth in their peripheral vision, because they're actually accessing these etheric realms, or even other aspects of the astral plane, or seeing other entities that are coming into their space in 3D, such as ghosts, you know, people who have passed away, also known as spirits. So you do that with a friend, and eventually you'll see something. You'll start to see the tinge of light around their body or their head or their face. And again, the aura's gonna have different textures. It's gonna look different from time to time, but it's this ability to be able to use their peripheral vision. That's what's gonna help you see color. So I'm Ryan JC. Try it out. This mental gymnastic practice where you're experiencing firsthand synesthesia, the seeing of color. Soon I'm going to make the video on how to see chi, life force, energy. It behaves completely different, and again, there are certain times of the day which make it easier. But this has been your potential on seeing auras. I'll speak to you guys very soon.